What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for the predicted 11 for the Newcastle versus Arsenal game on Monday. I laugh and James giggled there at predicted 11 because I feel like we're very, very thin, especially at time of recording. We're recording this on a Friday before, obviously, the game against Newcastle. So from what we know, it's the day after the North London derby. We saw Gabriel leave the field. We saw Rob Holding get a red card. And obviously, we know about the rest of the injuries within the squad as well. So at this point, very thin, very bare, but you know how this show goes. We want to give our opinions of what we would like to see on Monday night, and we'll kind of deliberate together on what we think Mikel Arteta is going to go with. This is going to be a difficult video, I think, to break down. I'm still piecing it together in my head. So what I'm going to do is what I always do and enjoy to do, pass it over to James and ask, James, what would you like to see on Monday against Newcastle with what we have available from this time of recording?
I mean, these videos are getting messier and messier. They really are.
They are.
And I do think actually, I'm one of the people who really didn't make excuses after Spurs. I wasn't going after the ref. I wasn't talking about injuries or any of that. I think ultimately we played a big part in our downfall, and and you know, we got to take some blame for that. And Spurs were good on the day as well, I suppose. Don't like saying it, but got to acknowledge it. But I think the reason I'm mentioning that, I do think the context of the players we're missing this season has maybe gone a little under the radar. Maybe not under the radar, but we are missing Kieran Tierney, and have done for large spells of the season, and a key spell of the season.
Yep.
We missed Thomas Partey, Tomiyasu, Ben White with a hamstring injury before the North London derby. You know, there's been a fair share of bad luck. Smith Rowe's had a couple of niggles here and there throughout the year.
Not strengthening in January is a factor as well.
And that's our fault.
Adding to the team.
That's our fault. So I do think still can't shake off this cough after 2 weeks. I do think we've been quite unlucky at times, but ultimately there should have been enough to do more against Spurs, and there should be enough to do something against Newcastle. So.
Right. But this is the question. This is what this show is going to be about. Is there really enough to get a win? Because that's what we're playing for right now. These are the next two cup finals for Arsenal. We have to get a win. Is there enough in what we have?
I think there is because we're not losing attackers and goal scorers. And I know we're not a team that score a lot of goals, but we're sort of being picked off at the back. We've been conceding goals anyway. Arsenal's problem has been scoring.
That's interesting because a lot of people you're right in what you're saying, but a lot of people would say the defence is the strong part in Arsenal's team. So now we are missing. Well, I'm not going to say key player, but we're missing a lot of players now in that back line. That is for me as an Arsenal fan has been our strength this season. So now I'm a little bit disheartened. I really, well, not even a little. I think I am a lot after that Spurs defeat. So,
but I think the back four is the foundation.
Right.
You build off, and you know you need White for build up, and Jack has proven quite important and all that, and Ramsdale's distribution.
And Tomiyasu's helped Martinelli play to his full strength.
I hear all that. But I'm not going into the Newcastle game fearing we might not keep a clean sheet. That's kind of out the window for me. We need to score goals.
Right.
We might keep a clean sheet, but I'm more worried about what the front line does. So and we're pretty unscathed in that area of the pitch. So yeah, should we go into it?
Let's go into it. And like I said, I'm going to throw it on to you because I haven't made up my mind. I don't know if Arteta's going to go. I don't know if I want to see a back five for this game. Is it too late to be making really huge changes with with the players we have? I mean, it can work, but it'll be so altered that I just think it's not going to get the job done. It'll be way too complex for what I want to see for Arsenal to actually work. So will he stick with a 4-2-3-1? Yes, he can, but again, that back line I think is where the problem's gonna lie. And I'm gonna throw it over to you. What are you saying? I'll say 4-2-3-1 is what I want to see. I'm still debating whether I want to see Ben White and
Well, it's more together. Of a 4-3-3 still, isn't it? Really, I mean, even that's what surprised me against Spurs is that we talk about wanting Arteta to be. I want him to be proactive. I'll be really annoyed if he goes into this Newcastle game and suddenly goes to a back three and suddenly decides he needs to adapt for the opposition.
Right.
We did this Predict 11 show outside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
I should have done it,
and we were talking about Tomiyasu. And I didn't really say too much about Arteta after the Spurs game. But when you look at a lot of the things that went wrong, We don't know more than Mikel Arteta. Of course we don't.
Of course not.
Of course we don't. I don't want to be sitting here going, if he didn't what I said, blah, blah, blah.
But there was
But there is a but.
there's an
That is
obvious.
that Arsenal fans, a lot of the ones I spoke to, us included, wanted to adapt a little bit more for Son and Spurs and their
Correct.
main threat. And while I kind of respect it, Arteta said, no, we're going to go do our thing. We're going to go do what's worked for us. So I'll be annoyed if he then, after that, goes into this game and goes, oh, well, got to stop St. Maximan, so got to do this, got to do that, blah, blah, blah. He should have done it against Spurs. For this game, I think we are in a situation where the injuries are getting to a point where the team actually kind of picks itself. So for me, Ramsdale stays in goal.
Yeah.
I think you stick with the back four. I think Cedric's got to keep his place with Tomiyasu and White at centre-back because it doesn't look like Gabriel's going to be fit. Unless it was really precautionary. And White was ready to come on. Arteta said White was ready to come on, only he didn't because by that point the game was lost. And he said there's no point risking it.
That's fair. Just to mention, I did see Gabriel, just a quick one, as he was leaving the stadium at Tottenham Hotspur, I did see him walk onto the coach, seemed no discomfort at all. Not saying that he's going to be ready, but I'm just want to highlight that now just in case fans might be in total meltdown.
Tomiyasu at right back with White, Gabriel...
Yeah.
And Tavares actually comes back in for me.
Let me think. Does that?
But let's err on the side of caution and say he's not. Therefore, it's going to be White, Tomiyasu centre back, Tavares left back. Now that's a pretty makeshift back four.
Massively.
But it's what we got to do. El Neni, Xhaka in midfield.
Keep their place. Yep.
Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Nketiah.
Yeah.
I think Martinelli's found some form the last couple of games. I thought he looked our best player. Bar maybe Tomiyasu against Spurs. And I thought actually across the game, a lot of the performances were all right, really. I think individual errors and moments cost us more than like general performances across the 90 that you thought he was shocking, he bottled it, he threw it away. So I think it's only right that we stick more or less with that team. But I wouldn't be looking to put Tomiyasu back at left back. I know it worked against Leeds. We dealt with Rafinha and all that. I get it. But get him back at right back if you can. And if Gabriel is ultimately not available, he's going to have to play centre back. That's what I would do. Would you do anything differently?
No, like I said, I'm going to be honest with everyone watching. I didn't have come to a full conclusion. I said I think he's either going to do a complete change, but then I guess that's going to be more to what we think Arteta's going to do at the end of the video. But for me, I like what you mentioned there. I think that's a good back line. I heard some fans talking about putting Xhaka centre back, but there's no way I would like to see that.
But that might be. He might do that.
That's something that
if he feels you can't have Cedric and Tavares in the same team.
I actually think when we get to Arteta, I think you might see him play that left back role, which it's gonna pain me to see personally for me. But he might look at doing that and bring Lokonga in. We spoke about not focusing too much on Newcastle, but they have got the return of Callum Wilson coming back in. Who else is returning? Trippier as well. Obviously, Bruno Guimaraes is hitting a lot of form with them. So it's going to be a difficult game. It is going to be a difficult game. They have got a lot of threats, but again, I think we're just kind of Arteta's just going to be, and for me as a fan, I just want to see him put out the fires of the injuries, the red cards, and just fill in those positions. I'm happy with what you've gone with, and I think it's what I think it's I think that's sensible. I think it's the most sensible. I do worry about Tavares and Martinelli that side and how much it affects Martinelli's game when Tavares is behind him.
Well, Smith Rowe and Tavares seem to have a better understanding, so maybe there's an argument for bringing Smith Rowe in. I'll ask you a question.
Okay, go on.
If Gabriel's fit, what does he do with the fullbacks? Because if White and Gabriel start the game, then does he stick with Cedric right back, Tomiyasu left back? Does he put Tomiyasu back at right back and trust Tavares? Does he start Cedric left back? He has to. I mean, that's probably the only position where there's probably a fair amount of debate to be had. I have a feeling that he might stick with Tomiyasu at left back.
That'd be silly.
If Gabriel's fit.
That'd be silly.
Listen, I don't
actually,
know,
if Gabriel's fit, and then so Ben White and Gabriel at the back. Are you saying if he's not fit, then what?
If Gabriel's fit, who are the fullbacks?
Gabriel's fit, then and Ben White will be fit. I think you stick with it. Tomiyasu on the left, and put Cedric back on the right. The same as what we saw. Do you not?
No, I want to see Tommy. No. If everyone's fit, I want to see Tomiyasu at right back in his favoured position. Let that three be part of the build-up, and let our left back Tavares get forward. I
think for Tottenham, I wanted to see that because of the Son, obviously, and counting that fire. But I actually think you stick with you stick with Tomiyasu, that left back, only because I think he has such a big part to play when it comes to Martinelli's attacking. I don't know what was the word,
Productivity.
Let's just go with that. Going forward,
there's definitely they're lacking something in terms of an understanding, Martinelli and Tavares. Marte loves to hug the touchline, so maybe a Cedric suits him. Listen, it's all ifs, buts and maybes, and after Leeds we were saying playing Tomiyasu at left back was a stroke of genius, and there we were watching doing the tactical insight show, me and Graham, saying Tomiyasu did a great game. It's very easy in hindsight to say all these things, but listen, we can only give what we want to see, and I think Gabriel, because we predict what Arteta does, I don't think Gabriel will be quite ready. I think Tomiyasu will start with White, and I think he'll go with Cedric and Tavares.
Is that what Arteta will go with? So you don't think there'll be a chance of maybe seeing Xhaka play in a fullback position or in a centre back? Okay, interesting. Okay, last little kind of thing as well. If Takahiro Tomiyasu does go into centre back pairing, say if you want to have Tomiyasu on the right back position like you said earlier, and he puts Tavares on left back, any word of maybe seeing a change of Saka and Martinelli swapping wings, or putting a Emile Smith-Rowe on the right and Saka on the left to kind of counter like Tavares having that help of Saka alongside him?
Yeah, we've seen that before. Southampton away, when he played Tavares, he thought Saka complemented him better on the left and moved Martinelli to the right. Then he ends up changing that in the second half because it didn't really work, apart from one moment where we should have scored. I don't know. It's getting really messy now.
It is. It really is.
These Predict 11 shows are getting really kind of like, we could do this, we might do that, but if this player's fit, but we don't really know. And it's a shame. And listen, that can't be good for Arteta. He'll be planning in the week. He'll be having his game plan, and then he'll just look at what's best. And who's best available to fit into those positions. But no, I think Tavares will come in, and I think he's just going to have to give him and Tavares another. I've just said I think Tavares will come in, but a minute ago I wasn't sure. It's a mess.
People watching, just understand that, please. This one's a difficult one, especially and at the time of recording everything as well. It is difficult to kind of.
I think we have a responsibility. Like, we'll come on this show, right? I think we have a responsibility to say what we want, and the reason I say that is because after the game we'll talk about what went wrong and what you should have done and whatever. So I'll say with my chest out, this is what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
And I've given that. What I think he'll do is completely different. I'm projecting and I'm thinking and I'm trying to be in the mind of Mikel. But I'm sure that's a pretty complicated mind to be in. He's got it tricky, I'll be honest, with injuries, but he's got to find a solution. He's got to beat Newcastle. Yeah, and this is why that job is so tough being a manager at Arsenal Football Club. But I tell you what, if he does get it right and gets those 2 wins over the line, one on this Monday and the one next week, then fair play to him. He's done an amazing job, especially with what he's been faced with injuries and red cards and whatnot, and players missing. So good luck to the team as always this Monday. Let us know in the comments what you would like to see as a fan on Monday night, because it'd be interesting to see what you guys would like to see and what actually is played out on Monday. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the next Predictor 11 video. Take care.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.